Power line kills woman and daughter in Anambra. This is something very, very sad. On a very sad note, condolences to the families of those people. Honestly, condolences. Now, what actually happened was that they were staying on the power line. I think they had a business, running a business under the power line. And then the line sort of snapped. And very unfortunately, they got killed. That was exactly what happened. And then the Enugu Electricity Distribution Company has already decided that they were going to apologize for the loss. So they apologize, that's the EEDC. They apologize for the loss to the family members and all of that. But I just want to talk about this story because of something that is very ubiquitous, very common in Nigeria. And that's this attitude of building houses, not only houses, shops, and all sorts of things like that on the power line. So it's something, there's a particular saying in where I come from that if you let's say you just come to a particular town now and you are looking for mechanic, you need some mechanic to help you out with your car. All you just have to do, you don't even have to ask anyone, you don't have to ask anybody around. All you just have to do is to look for the power line. Look for those 132 kV power lines or 330 kV power lines. Look for those very serious power lines. Just trace it, go under them, just trace it. You are going to find mechanics. Like you will never run out of mechanics if you go through those that particular lane. Just keep following the power line. You will just keep running into mechanics shops, different shops. You have people grinding paper, all sorts of people like that under the power line. So that's exactly what it is. Now I understand the reason why people keep doing that, because it is a lot cheaper to just install your facilities and whatever you have, your business directly under power line. It's a lot cheaper. It's easily acquired. I mean, land is very easily acquired under power line. So that's just something like, it's just a rule of thumb. That's what people do. And I also understand that desperate people trying to feed their families, you can't really say much about them being on the power lines. And I understand that's also one of the reasons why the government is not really enforcing this thing that much, because they don't have any alternative to those people, just like they don't have any alternative for feeding people during this COVID-19 pandemic, which is also one of the reasons why they decided that they were going to start opening up little by little, because the palliatives are not getting anywhere and people are going to start civil unrest at a particular point if people can't eat. When you go hungry, your sense of duty, your sense of morality goes completely shut off. That's just it. People who have never thought of stealing before in their lives will go and steal when they get really desperate. That's just it. It's very easy for us when we are in comfort to say that we could never do this, we could never do that. But honestly, when you get really, really desperate, people do very heinous things without even thinking about it twice. Talk about famines. People eat each other during famines. If your family member dies during a famine and it's very serious, you will see people eating their family members. Women eating their children. That's exactly what happens when hunger comes. So I understand that when people get really desperate, there's very little you can do about it to stop them from doing that. Especially when that's the only way, seemingly that's the only way for them to go out and fend for themselves and feed their family members, feed their children. But again, this thing is just way too risky. As much as it is like an easy way out, it is way too risky. It's better to leave if you have a means or you have somewhere else to go. It's better to just live under those power lines. If you're working on the power lines, whatever you're doing, vulcanizer, welders, traders, tailors, mechanics, whatever it is, if you can, leave as early as possible. Safety is priceless. Safety is priceless. These lines are dead, like they're decades old. All these lines you're talking about, some of them have been installed for over 40-50 years ago. You don't know when any one of them is going to snap. Like the woman in question and her child, they didn't know this thing was going to snap. Maybe they've even been under the power line for over 10 years. They've been living there and nothing happened. So to you would think that, yeah, we've been living here for years, nothing happened, nothing is going to happen. But it's almost like an avoidable sort of death. That's just what it looks like. Even though I know people can be desperate, but this is exactly what it looks like. Also talk about people who actually build their own homes under power lines. You're just risking your family members. You are risking everybody. That's exactly what it is. So that's exactly what I'm talking about in this thing. It's very, very, very dangerous. So if you have means of living, leave. Please leave. And if you don't have any means, start working towards leaving the place. Start getting money ready so that you can leave as soon as possible. Whatever you're making, where you are under the power line, start putting some away so that you can live there as soon as possible. It is better for you to be alive so that you can take care of your kids than for you to die, and at the end of the day your kids end up destitute like you would never want them to be, which of course is the reason why you are working. So it's better for you to just stay safe. And again, when you talk about the chances of having something bad happen to you, let's even think about if the chances of the power line snapping is just maybe 1 in 10,000 chance. Yes, it's 1 in 10,000, looks almost negligible that it's ever going to happen, but one still remains. That one is the one that happened to the woman and her child. Do you think if she knew that one was going to affect her, that she wouldn't have run away even if it's 1 in 10,000? So that's exactly what that's exactly how this thing happens. When you talk about statistics of risk assessment, that's exactly what happens. So it's better for you to stay away from something that can be avoidable. Again, condolences to the family of the deceased, and new video comes up every single day, and make sure you subscribe, like, share with your friends, and bye.